let's actually hit this one up from Dreamweaver88, aka Winston. They write, how do you deal with stress?
Ooh, that is a good one. And, real quick shout outs to Dreamweaver88. The brother sent in this video thanking us for what we do here at Fanbro Show. We can't go into too much of it. It was very personal, but yes. I will just say that it had me in tears. It had me laughing. It just had me, it had me rethinking it and re-examining why we do everything here and just...
Yeah, you had me in all my feelings. So we'll talk about that separately just for you. But we just want to make sure we said that publicly. Like, we all saw it and felt all types of ways and we really can't express anything but our gratitude.
Yeah, I will say this, though, because like I said, it really did make me rethink about why we do everything here. And there's a lot of times where I get stupid stressed out over Fanbro Show. We've been doing it for a little over 5 years now. And, while we've achieved a lot of things, we haven't gotten to where we want to get to yet.
Right.
And because of that, it stresses me the hell out, even though through Fanbro Show, it has led me to my wildest dreams being imagined. And I can see even greater things in my future because of it. But at the same time, if it wasn't for videos and for messages and for emails and for tweets and for everything from people like y'all, I would be like, F this mess. Because, I got a lot of other stuff I need to be working on. But when I see things like that, it's like, wow, like people really take this stuff seriously and really love what we do here and are really inspired by us as much as we're inspired by them. So, man.
Yeah, it like you said, it really means something when we get it's about, for me, like how some people chase fame and all that stuff, like that recognition like shocks the hell out of me every time. Like that happened at Essence Fest, where I just, like I said, I didn't expect nobody nowhere to know who I was. They were like, who is this girl and why is she here? Like, and I introduced myself and I heard, oh yeah, and I said, y'all know me?
Yeah.
So, like that is just like, oh, y'all recognize that I'm putting in work. Y'all recognize that we putting in work and that this matters. So again, we're going to have a separate chat with you, but we want to ask you a question. How do you deal with stress?
Lord have mercy. And that is such an amazing question. And it's something like I was talking about earlier. It's something I've been dealing with a lot more lately. Like, I really stepped into a whole new world over the last year. I joined the writer's room on American Gods. And then since then, I've been working on other projects, working on my own stuff, this and that. Living in Hollywood, living away from all my friends and family. Like, I've always been away from my friends and family. I mean, my family for the most part, because they're all down south, etc. But being away from everyone and the life I built up on the East Coast and being out here, even though you're in this beautiful weather and it's LA and, you're living the dream and you're working on shows and you're taking meetings. Yo, but then at the same time, like, writing itself is something I'm not used to. I'm used to being a DJ every day, and I wrote, I just wrote, I would write for fun. I write all the time because I would always be a writer, but I never was like, okay, you got to write every day and you got to turn something in. And so it's become a major different level of stress. And the first thing I'll say is this: get out and exercise. Like, I think that is like one of the, best ways to deal with stress. I mean, everyone knows, if you know me, I'm living in LA, I enjoy the medicinal herbs to the fullest, but there's no way that they can compete with a good workout. They're great after a good workout, before a good workout, but it's just getting that exercise, getting your body moving helps so much. You get your mind clear, you get breathing. I don't think people concentrate enough on their breath, and breathing every day, just taking deep breaths, because we don't breathe. Like, we're never taught. There's a lot of things about our body that we're just not taught. Like how to breathe, like how we should be breathing. So we breathe a real shallow breath every day, like, instead of really having deep breaths to really fill up your spirit, fill your lungs, get you to exhale everything.
That's scientifically proven too.
Yeah, it calms you. Like, people be like, yo, take 10 deep breaths before you do something. And you think it's a joke. But if you ever just stopped and taken those 10 deep breaths, you're going to be a lot calmer after that. It's just certain things like that people just blow off. Drink water, like I say, get out, exercise. We've talked about this before on the show. When you're living in New York, when you're living in these areas where you don't get a lot of sunlight, that can really stress you out. That's why I always tell people, get outside. I remember my boy told me that when I first moved to New York, because we were in DC, and he's like, yo, you're going to get up there and them skyscrapers are everywhere, bro. You got to get out and see that sun, because after 3 o'clock, you won't see it. And he's right, you know, he's so right. And for especially in the wintertime, it gets really bad when you're inside, and then it gets dark at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. And so you don't even see the sun. So it's like that little things like that, you know, are like the things about self-care that I think people ignore a lot of. And it's like these little basic things that really help so much.
I agree, man. And I would say, like, because I hate going to the gym, but I would say one of the things I do realize help me is getting outside. So, and unfortunately, I don't own one now, but I really want one. One of the things that really helped me was riding bikes, like, you know, bicycle. I loved it. I've always loved it since I was a kid. And like riding a bike is like the most therapeutic thing for me. Like riding it along, you know, water, particularly for me, riding it, you know, past scenery, things like that, grass, you know, trees and stuff, whatever, that works for me. I would also say when me dealing with stress, I clean, like that's just my go-to. Like clean. Like I start looking at stuff like I need to throw that the hell away. You know what I mean? Like because especially if you live in a cluttered place, you know, I'm not saying like you got it. I mean, yeah, you have a lot of stuff, but if you live in a cluttered place, like objects hold energy. And when they're placed in misconfigured, misaligned areas, especially when they're piled up, it blocks and displaces energy and actually throws a lot of negative energy into your body. I know it sounds very, you know, mystical, magical, whatever, shrooms, I get it, but it's true. That I mean, there is such thing as feng shui. And I'm saying like it's a vast difference when you're in a room that's dark, has lots of stuff in it, especially stuff that's like building up around you. But when you open that window shade, you know, put some Windex on there, start moving stuff out, getting rid. I'm a big advocate of purging, like, and not de-purge, but purging. Picking up stuff clothes that you haven't worn in a year, get rid of them. Give them away to friends, family, or to Goodwill or wherever. Or if you're short on cash, sell it. Toys, pops, whatever. Like just stuff that you just are that is not either not using or not being applied towards positivity in your life. Just get it out the way. You would be surprised how wonders it does for you to just release that stuff from your life, from your person, from your domicile. Like it really makes a difference. So that's how I deal with stress.
Man, okay, there's so many we could do right now, but let's see. Another one, especially with me, when it gets back to this writing thing, is I've learned that when I'm writing and I'm stressed out, I like to turn on YouTube and listen to like tones and meditation music in the background. But then also I do a lot of reading. Like that's something that has really helped me with my writing, is reading scripts and stuff. And it's takes the stress off you, because you'll read something, especially when you're writing something, or like, I think this works with anything, you know, breaks down. Like when I was DJing, I'd watch other DJs, because you'd be like, oh, okay, I see how they did this, you know, and it's like, it can't be that difficult. So that takes that stress off you. But a book that I recently read, and this is just something from it, is this book, The Way of the Superior Man. And it's a really ill book because it has that title, The Way of the Superior Man. So you think it's all about some alpha male BS, whatever. But it's really just about getting in touch with yourself and your life. But one thing that it really made a point about is like, it talks about how men and women both need a balance of feminine and masculine energy in their life. So if you're a man, you need your men friends to be masculine. You know, you want them to be, you know, be hard up with you, tell you straight up how it is. But you also need feminine energy in your life. And that doesn't mean just women that you're having romantic relationships with. This means women who you just see as friends, women who you can just hang around with, and they can just give you that womanly energy that you're not going to get. And it goes the same way for women. Like women can't, you know, everyone needs a balance of these things in their life. And that's something that will, you know, we get stressed out because we don't have these balances. There's a lot of stuff in the modern world that really throws off people, like being on social media all the time. And we think of it where we always try to have our thoughts out there and we always try to have something to say, but you're taking in so much information. And this is like the first time in human history, in any time, when you would get this much information just shot at you, constantly forced into your brain. So you have to choose.
This is literally the first, like you said, the first time in the history of ever.
Yeah, and ever.
It's been like this.
And it increases every day. It gets ridiculous. I read this book years ago. It was a really ill book that flipped my head. I'll post it on Twitter because I can't remember the name of it right now, but it talked about how information doubles in a system and how like the amount of information that any one human being can know on the planet doubles and doubles. And it starts with like the creation of fire, and then it moves into like the Bronze Age, and then the Next Age, the Steam Age, et cetera, et cetera. But as you see, it gets closer and closer. And the book talked about when the book was written, it was like 1990s, maybe 1980s. Information was doubling at every 16 months. So right now, the amount of information that any one human can know is probably doubling like every day. It might not be that fast, but it's getting really, there's research, et cetera. So, and Twitter, I mean, just Twitter, the amount of information that blows up on that every day is, you're getting more and more.
Twitter is sheer unfiltered information. That's why it's so powerful and so dangerous.
Yes. And so sometimes you got to take a step back from things like that. Put your phone down, take a day away from all electronics. Like, people don't realize that, you're so accustomed to this stuff now, but we haven't even lived a generation with it. So we don't know what the long-term effects of this are on humanity. We're just accepting it because it's been thrown in our face. So sometimes we got to step away from that, because we got to remember humanity's been on this planet for thousands, not even that many thousands of years, really, but over 1,000 years. And this is the first time in the last 20 years, in the last 5, in the last 1, where it's ever been anything like this.
Word, man. Turn off your phones.
But listen to Fanbro Show first. Healthy white people.
Right. As usual. As usual, make sure that if you have a GAQ question at Geekquently Asked Questions, you can ask us about anything, whether it's how to really relieve stress, what's your favorite comic book character, all sorts of things across the board. Hit us up, contact@fanbros.com. If you want a little bit of anonymity, if you want to just hit us up right away at Fanbros Show on social media. And what else? I think that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, big shout outs to Dreamweaver88. Like I said, that video just made my day, my week, my month, everything. Yes. Man, it was amazing. Like, like Tatiana said, I still get shot. I get recognized sometimes when I'm out walking around, talking to people, whatever. And it's still amazing to me. And then I tell the story all the time. Like, one night I was DJing, and this dude comes up to me like, "Yo, man, you're DJ Ben Amin." And he was like, "Yo, man, I listened to that Juno Diaz episode, and it just changed my life about everything, the way I move, all this stuff." And when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, word. Or even like, in the video today, dude was like, "Yo, when you tweet, and you say something and people think that you're on your rants or something, it just hits me and uplifts me." Motherfuckers comparing us. I mean,
it's just like it just like how just like how you say that we help validate you. Like, if you say, like, you feel like people hear you, people see you, it's the same thing with us.
Yeah.
Like, when you tell us something that we said, did, or otherwise helped, it lift you up positive, like, or help you grow, like, that validates us even further, and we can build with that. And that's why it's so important, like, just overall, that we're helping give each other these energies. So again, like, thank you so much, and we'll be talking soon.
Yeah, and I want to say this, I don't think people understand how, like what you just said, how validated we are by what we do on this show by y'all, because I can't even say I've been this way my whole life. I've been a super geek all my life, and I was ostracized for it. I grew up keeping it to myself a lot of times, feeling very weird, feeling very different than a lot of other people. And I mean, all the way into my adult life, even. I can remember in the last 10 years, I was thinking about this earlier today. This was probably about 10 years ago, because it was like when I first moved to New York, and I was at this pool party in the summer, nothing but, my people there. And I had on this Green Lantern, Green Arrow t-shirt, and it was an ill ass t-shirt to me. And I remember talking to the shorty, and she was just like, like, really?
Oh, she tried to play you because you was wearing a comic book shirt?
Yeah, and now it's like everybody got on a freaking comic book shirt, and it was like,
I mean,
yeah. And so now it's like, whatever, but it's like, you have to, that's what I mean, this show helped me. I can remember when we first started the show, and the very first year we were at New York Comic-Con, and I wasn't walking up to people, I wasn't talking to them about it, because I was like, oh man, it's Fanbro Shows, whatever.
I mean, you also sit there like, what are people gonna think of me?
Yeah,
like, when I walk up to them and say this, they like, oh, you weak, or you whack, or whatever. It's just, it's a lot of growth that has happened because of what we've done here on the show, what we've achieved, and all, and like, again, as Ben said, primarily the feedback we've received from everyone.
Yeah, that's what did it, because once people, you know, started hitting us and being like, yo, we really listen, when we started getting emails from people where they were just saying all kind of amazing things, you know, how we changed their life, how we did this, people asking us to help them get married and name their babies and all this stuff. Like, then I'd be going up to the people at New York Comic Con and wherever I'm at, like, yo, you don't listen to Fan Bro Show? Yo, you need to listen to this. You know, like, this is amazing. What we're doing here is God's work. You know, get on it.
Yeah, it's like your love makes us feel invincible, yo.
Word
like, it really has helped our confidence. And as Ben said, we go up in there. I mean, like, now it's like a done deal. It's like, y'all not listening to us, or you're not coming on the show. All right, see you later. You're messed up. You know what I mean? Like
you missing out.
And it's not braggart. It's not boasting. It's straight up, you're messed up, because we've been told time and time again by everybody else that they fucks with us and they like what we talking about and how we do it and the people we bring on. So my thing is, like, you want to be part of the party or nah?
Yeah, no, and I don't ever want to be, you know, called a braggart or, you know, boasting, because I just believe in confidence. You know, that's something that I learned, because I came up being, like I said, I came up being a weird, shy dude. And then I learned about DJing, and that really brought out another level to me where I just was like, oh, okay, you know. And after that, it was like, you know, even with my DJing, I always tell people, you know, like, any DJ that want it, you know, let's go. And it's not about me being like better than you or anything, but I just know I'm going to bring my best and you better as well, because I'm going to kill it. You know, and so I want you to kill it to make me step my game up. And that's the same way I feel about the show. I'm like, yo, I want to hear other podcasts do it like we do it, because I want people to make me step my game up. I want to be inspired by people, you know. Shout out to the Bodega Boys. Like, I love what they are doing. I've been watching all their videos, you know. Won't even mention that channel they were on, but I've been watching them on there, you know, on the YouTubes, and just learning them, you know, just studying and seeing, okay, this is how they do it. This is what I want to learn from them, you know. But I want to be the best. So it's all about that. It's just about being confident. And like you said, Tatiana, it's the love we get from other people. And when you hear these things, it just blows my mind, because I think about it as, like, you know, this deep stuff we talk about and all that. But when you hear how people are like, yo, you have saved or changed my life with the stuff you said on here, that is like,
there's nothing like it.
Yeah, that is, you know, that's a responsibility that I'm well aware of, and it just, you know, makes me strive to do more and, you know, be more of an inspiration and be inspired by y'all as well. So thank you. Fan Bros,